Hey everyone, welcome to the next episode of the StarCraft 2 King of the Hill. Um, I'm here with Ketrock. How's it going?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah, unfortunately, Raph and Unusual can't be with us tonight. So, as you have probably guessed, it is Ketrock versus Micro Machine. Um,
Yeah,
Micro
they're too
Machine,
afraid.
yeah.
Yeah, they know I'm just gonna mop the floor with them.
Well, I think it's just like they knew that there's going to be like 15 weeks of having Micro Machine on, so they thought they'd give us a break or something. That's probably what they've got to do.
That does seem likely. Although he's got some tough challenges ahead.
Yeah, yeah, tough one from you tonight.
We'll be testing him, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. You don't have a good record on the ladder. I'm just gonna throw out like I think it's plus 90% win rate he has against you on the ladder. So
Yeah, but it's not 100% win rate. So recently, I think I won two of our last three matches, two of our last four matches, something like that.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
I got some new stuff. It's working out somewhat okay. I
yeah,
think him sweeping me is probably unlikely. I'll put it that way.
yeah. But it's kind of like the advantage of King of the Hill obviously is you get to update, whereas Micro Machine doesn't. So you're not facing the very latest version.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. And I know he's made changes specifically to deal with the changes I made on my bot.
yeah,
So those changes aren't going to be here. So maybe that helps a little bit more.
hopefully. Um, but yeah, so I noticed Raf was quite unconfident about his chances. Says he thinks you'll win, but I'm kind of less certain on that at the moment.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's humble, right? He loses one match to a bot and he's like, oh, the
Yeah,
world's ending. So
pretty much.
he lost a few MMR to me and now he's not so happy about it.
Yeah. So we
But
only actually have 2 weeks left of the King of the Hill until the end of the season,
oh,
which
nice.
ends next week. So the champion of next week's match will carry that title for likely for a few weeks until we can get the next iterations sorted. Um, so you only have to win 2 matches.
Yeah. Well, even if we get past Micro Machine, Sharkbot is looking extremely powerful.
Yeah,
He's made a macro build to deal with Micro Machine, and as a byproduct of that, it deals well with my bot as well, since I'm also a Terran. So Sharkbot is he beat me on the ladder using my best build, and pretty handily. So
yeah,
he's someone to look out for in the coming weeks,
yeah.
either versus myself or Micro Machine.
Definitely. We'll talk about that at the end, if you get to the end, of course. Um, by some miracle of organisation, I've sorted out an opponent for next week already, which is unusual standards of organisation for me. Um, anyway, shall we take a look at game one? It is on ice and chrome.
Yeah, I'm there.
Awesome. Okay. You good to go?
Yeah, good to go.
All right. I'm going in three, two, one, go. Right, so down in the bottom left, the challenger, looking to take the crown for the second time. It is Ketrock.
And in the top right, we have the returning champion. It is the unbeatable Micro Machine.
Nothing is completely unbeatable. That's an
Yeah.
interesting thought. You'll be the first person to be a two-time winner if you do qualify.
Yeah. I mean, Micro Machine can't be a two-time winner because if he doesn't lose, he doesn't get to reclaim the title.
Exactly. So that means you have the advantage over Micro Machine, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This is a tough map for me versus Micro Machine, though. The way I deal with Reapers is I like to wall off the Reaper jump. And this particular map has a massive Reaper jump, which means it takes me a while before I can get my gas down.
See all this area over here, and then you've got the area by the main ramp as well. Um, I think you can even jump in there with the Reapers, can't you, at the bottom left of the base?
Uh, Bottom left.
as in by the entrance to the natural.
Oh yeah, you're looking at Micro Machine's base.
I well
Yeah,
again,
it's just
it's
on
not.
the side of the main base or through the choke point at the
Yeah,
natural.
yeah. So both bots seem to have even kind of builds, apart from you've already started your, your, your natural, and Micro Machine's gone for a factory first. So
Yeah, I think he said standard build, which I believe means he opens 1-1-1. So we're
yeah,
going to be seeing some early Cyclone, some early Banshee Harass would be my guess. But if Ketrock can hang on here, then he will have the advantage, as he's already taken his expansion and has an economic lead, at least for the moment.
yeah. It is the Reaper is initially coming across the map. I don't know if Micro Machine has any specific anti-Ketrock builds, but that Reaper is not getting up there. That's a nice wall.
Yeah. But again, since this wall is normally 3 structures, and on this map it happens to be 5,
Yeah,
my gas geysers are super late. So my factory hasn't even started yet. And that's
yeah,
going to be an issue against, having to deal with early cyclones and early banshees. I really need to get to my starport tech.
yeah. So you see, there's a tank being made first, which is I would expect Cyclone before the tank, but
Tank first. Yeah, I'm still
yeah,
unsure how Micro Machine deals with my bunker contain build. He somehow knows to go tank first versus that, although sometimes he goes cyclone first versus my
yeah.
other builds. I'm not sure how he makes that decision. But the tank first could be to deal with when I do the bunker contain against him.
Yeah. So I have noticed that you've got now an orbital at your natural. Normally, I remember you used to always do a PF there. I was wondering what the thinking behind that is.
Well, I'm getting more tanks of this build. This is like a tank Viking build, and I feel like gives me more early defense where I don't need the planetary. And obviously, a second orbital means more resources.
Yep.
And you don't want to be playing from behind versus Micro Machine. If you want to have any chance versus Micro Machine, you got to be like at least even, if not ahead. Otherwise, the fights are just going to get worse and worse and worse for you.
I,
So anything to increase the economy helps.
I feel when playing that against Micro Machine, it's kind of like the Maru theory of like, if you ever think you're ahead, you're even. If you ever think you're even, you're behind. If you ever think you're behind, you've already lost.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny, every time that Reaper jumps up into my main base, my bot goes into panic mode. It's like, there's stuff in my main base. It's built from every production structure. So I keep making these Marines pointlessly. So I already got 4 in the bunker, and now I got 3 more in my main base, all because I think I'm getting hammered in my main base right now.
Yeah. So that tank seems to have done a good job at chasing off the Reaper.
Natural base going down for Micro Machine, which he blocks with his next command center. So now he has to go take his third base instead.
Yeah, this is something we've seen a lot from Micro Machine, especially on this map. That will go for 2 extra expands quite early. Now, there's not really been any kind of early attacks.
Yeah, pretty passive actually. Actually, as we say that, the Banshee is coming in right now.
Yeah. Going straight in for the natural.
And I don't have a Raven. And this is bad news, because I haven't implemented the code to scan yet. At least in this scenario.
Yeah, so the Vikings are chasing around, but they just can't see you until
Yeah,
you.
basically as long as this guy... Well, okay, we're getting the missile turrets up. That helps a little bit.
Yeah.
But the Raven is way out. Though he does keep going into detection radius, which allows these Vikings to pot shot him. There we go.
Taking him
Does
down.
go down after many kills. What is that? Oh, 2 worker kills only. Okay, wasn't so
I think it
bad.
was more targeting the Marines, so I was going to
Yeah,
make
he
this
canceled the
push
missile
a
turret a
little
bunch
bit.
of times too, which is painful. And the tank push is coming from Ketrock.
Yeah, it seems to be tanks only though.
Yeah, that's how this playstyle works. It's
Yeah,
mostly me just experimenting to find answers for cyclones.
Yeah. Well, that will work.
There is untested code attached to it as well, and that is SCVs I bring with the attack, and there they are to repair any siege tank that requires repairing.
Yep.
This is something I
they're
added
doing their
yesterday.
job. Oh, looks like they're doing their job there, so that's good. That's where Raven comes in. It looks like Micro Machine has a bit of an advantage in the air battle at the moment, so that's going to
Yeah,
be...
that is a problem. In tank versus tank battles, you really don't want to be behind in air.
Yeah. The Micro Machine is slightly below workers, but still on 3 bases, so it's 3 bases to do at the moment. So I don't necessarily feel like Micro Machine is using his tanks that well over here.
Yeah, the fight's kind of getting really spread out, all the way from Micro Machine's 4th all the way up to his 3rd.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is good for my bot. I think it's better if I stay kind of together, although we do have a siege position on his 3rd base now, which is nice.
Yeah, that's going to be helpful. But I get the sense that this air battle is really kind of like losing the point at the moment, because it's just the Vikings chasing the Vikings without really giving a lot of vision for the tanks.
Yeah, but the fact that Micro Machine has the high ground and he has the air control, it's making it really difficult for me, my tanks, to get much work done. Now, the tanks coming around from his 3rd base is nice, because they already have the high ground.
Yeah. So it's lifted off the command center. So essentially it's going to be a 3 base versus 4 base at the moment. As the Cyclones come in, they're going to remove one of the tanks at least.
We do have some sieging, unsieging issues here. And the Marines even getting in range where they
yeah,
won't be any damage going backwards from the tank.
They're just too close.
Yeah.
It looks like Micro Machine is about to break out of here. And there he goes, lands his CC.
Yeah. Economic lead for Ketrock, but huge army lead for Micro Machine.
Yeah.
He may even be able to close this out. We'll have to see.
He is coming straight across, going for the kill. Yeah, so I think it'd probably be better off going straight for the main base rather than worrying about the expansions, because you've got loads of expansions there.
Yeah. 5th base going down for Ketrock, that might have actually been a good thing.
Yeah.
For me, because that might have just been an area where I just started losing all my workers.
We've got this alternative 5th up here, which is just looks like it's going to get taken out straight away.
Yeah, Micro Machine going out to 5 bases of his own. 4th and 5th getting down there, so the economic lead is quickly dissipating.
Yeah.
And the army size situation is not getting any better for Ketrock. This is looking really bad.
Yeah. So I think it does look like Micro Machine is going to be able to take this first game. But Ice and Chrome probably a very good map for him, as you were saying earlier, so let's start sieging up onto the natural. Well, he is wasting a lot of these lock-ons of the Cyclones on SCVs though, which is strange.
That seems perfectly fine to me though. I mean, if every lock-on killed an SCV, that would be a good life for a Cyclone.
Yeah, I guess so. But
yeah, this just never is able to recover from that, losing that big chunk of an army at Micro Machine's 3rd.
Yeah.
A lot of it coming down to just never having air control. I'm not sure what happened, but for some reason I couldn't get the Viking count up to an appropriate level.
I think
I think
Micro
because that
Machine.
fight got so spread out at the start that my
Yeah.
Vikings weren't kind of together.
Yeah. I think you originally had air control, but you were just kind of like running around fighting the Vikings on their own rather than, like you were saying, just kind of like staying with the tanks and providing vision.
It's way too late, but I think we got the Viking lead now.
Yeah.
No, there's like 15 cyclones out as well, though, unfortunately.
One thing we haven't seen in this game is a whole lot of Marines. Like, it's been a very much mech army, but not a kind of like traditional mech only army I think we'd find. But yeah. Although saying that, it looks like we've got Yamato in production now for Micro Machine as well. So that means some battle cruisers coming soon. And Micro Machine up to, what's that, 7, 8 bases?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
so
a matter of when, not if, at this point.
yeah,
I don't see any way back into this. Maybe
112
if
on.
we win some tank battles, then I can get a tank count to deal with these cyclones, but
Yeah,
it's
those
a real long
cyclones.
shot here.
Those cyclones are just crazy. But it does look like you definitely have the air advantage. That's you were saying, but too late maybe. Some more tanks do get taken down.
And now solid, was it 7 base on 2?
It's definitely looking good for Micro Machine from here. Well, you do have a third, but not for long, I would say. As it goes down.
I somehow got way ahead of you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a third. I'm like, oh, okay, you're a minute behind.
I don't know how we do this.
Yeah, normally your
Like,
computer's faster than mine, so I'm used to like speeding it up a little bit. This time, the
yeah,
opposite's the case. I guess because I just rebooted.
possibly. But yeah. So you're mining.
Anyways, not a bad time to desync as this game is all but over.
Yeah. I think at the moment it's we can probably fast forward this one. You're mining from 2
Yep.
patches, and right, let's give Micro Machine the victory here.
That was a tough map for me,
GG.
though.
Yeah,
That's the one where I take gas so late that, you can't give small advantages away like that to Micro Machine. I
it's
don't
a
mind
bot.
losing on this one.
And Micro Machine's a bot just does not let up. As soon as he gets any kind of advantage, he'll be at your throat until you're dead. There's no sense of retreat. Backing up here. Just check that Micro Machine doesn't crash.
We did have a nice upgrade lead, so
Yeah.
if this game didn't fall apart, then that could have been relevant around this part of the time of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you had the tanks sieging up there, you were definitely ahead at that point. So, I mean, there is definitely hope there. There's the beginnings of a good strategy. So, yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at game 2. My StarCraft just crashes, so I'll just have to load that up again. I've had a lot of that recently. StarCraft crashing immediately after quitting replays. I don't know why.
The fastest way for these old replays, anyways, is just to Alt F4 and then
Yeah, yeah,
double click the replay.
yeah,
You don't have to go through the login screen multiple times, or at
yeah.
all, even.
Yeah, that's normally the way I do it. But, yeah.
I'm good to go whenever you are. Game 2. All right, so next one's going to be on Pillars of Gold.
Yeah.
It's not as bad of a map. Hopefully that makes a difference.
All right, ready to go in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so down in the bottom left, looking to come back from a 1-0 deficit. It is Ketrarch.
And in the top right, we have the Blue Terran up 1-0. It is Micro Machine.
Yeah.
What if Micro Machine gets up 2-0 and then loses? That's got to be a first ever, right?
I don't think we've ever had a reverse sweep, so yeah. Although
there's probably been many opportunities for it, as I'm guessing Micro Machine almost always goes up 2-0.
yeah, we have had a 3-2 in the final of one of the tournaments. I can't remember which one. It might have been season 8, which was Tychus versus Perfect Split, I think. Finished 3-2. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't think that was a reverse sweep. But yeah, I think that will be a first.
Spiny had a huge comeback once. He was down in an extended series in Probots. So yeah, he had to win like 3 or 4 in a row or something like that, and was able to pull it out. And oddly enough, this is when there was no updates. So the bot that was beating him every single game without either of them being updated, it just completely reversed its fortune somehow.
I think that was one of the was that Ben bot or one of the other bots, wasn't it? I think
it was Benbot BC.
Benbot BC, yeah, I did see that one. That was pretty intense. I think a lot of these bots at the moment are quite map dependent as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember Spiny had some buggy features in that series, so some of his losses maybe weren't so much Benbot winning as it was Spiny losing.
Sure, but you can only beat what's put in front of you, can't you? You know, it's not your fault if the opponent bot falls over and does something weird.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Reaper is arriving, and this time we didn't require like 15 structures to wall off the Reaper, so Lolliver in a little bit better spot than last match.
Yeah. And it's not doing the thing of jumping up and down this time, so you might not, your bot might not have panicked as much.
Yeah. Yeah, if it does jump up there, then I build a Marine, because I think my main base is under attack. Yeah, so that was like, what, 4 or 5 Marines last match I built that I didn't need, so that was, you know, that just slows down your third base more and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely a lot better start for you this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, another standard 1-1-1 from Micro Machine. I think he said he was staying on the standard build, right?
Yeah, we're both using the same build as last match.
Yeah.
The starport is just finishing now from Micro Machine. I am still a little bit worried about the lack of defense I had for that Banshee harass. It didn't go too poorly last time, but he had the opportunity to kill like 15 SCVs or something along those lines before the Raven got out.
Yeah, so I think there was a couple of things that were working both for and against you last game. Because of the Reaper jumping up and causing you to panic and build Marines, you had a lot more Marines around, which the Banshee focus fired the Marines first. So
oh, is that what happened?
That kind of worked for you as well as worked against you, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, it's definitely better to lose a Marine than lose an SCV.
Yeah.
Because they cost the same and they take the same amount of hits to kill, but the Marine doesn't mine many minerals,
No.
which is an important feature.
In fact, they only cost minerals. But yeah, looks like the Banshee is going to come out now. It is on the way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my bot's going to open Viking Raven, but we don't even have a tech lab on the starport yet, so I think once again we're going to be reliant on trying to get up missile turrets.
I mean, it's a little way off, but you should have it there eventually. I mean, there is two starports down. So
Micro Machine floating out to his natural. Let's see if he blocks his own expansion again. Just watching his mineral count. Probably if it reaches 400, he's going to block himself.
It's going to happen. Yes, there we go. It's just about. Oh, I just feel sorry for who's piloting that that command center. It's like, I just want to build this, want to land. Oh, damn.
I'm guessing that falls under Unusual's responsibility. So Raph is probably going to be on his ass later.
Yeah. So, well, that's interesting. You got the first Banshee down. I think that came over before you had a chance to siege, and now there's a little push out from Micro Machine here.
Okay, second Banshee on the way as well.
Does look like you've got a decent defense though, so I don't think this push is going to get much done. And yeah, it's going to go straight back. It's like, no, I don't like these odds.
Another Banshee coming in on the natural. This time we do have missile turrets available.
Yeah.
And there's Raven now in the field, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, you should be able to see it quite easily. You're still managing to follow it around. Did you have a range upgrade on your missile turret?
Good question. Do I? I do not.
No.
You're wrong, Micro Machine. That should count as a loss.
Yeah, I think so. Auto loss.
Okay, big push coming. Let's see how this looks.
I think it's looking better for you than last game, certainly. You've got a big lead in both army and workers. So,
yeah, slightly better than last game. In last game, we were looking good at this point.
Yeah.
Just the fight didn't go very well. Oh, here we got a vision blocker. So then again, a lot of this is going to come down to who has the air control. So if you have air control, you have vision. That's super important in these tank versus tank battles.
Yeah. The tanks are coming forward a little bit.
Alright, able to take out one of Micro Machine's tanks there.
Yeah. So, Micro Machine down to just 3 tanks. A couple of tanks in the red. Should they have SCVs with them? Oh yeah, I think I see SCVs just repairing the almost full health tank, letting the low health tank get destroyed.
Yeah, they're not picky. They just any tank that's probably, I think it's the closest tank that requires repair will get it. Sometimes it's not a good idea to repair the weakest tank because that might be the one where you lose the SCVs as well.
Yeah. Again, these tanks over here seem to be having trouble sieging as well.
And also losing air control once again.
Yeah. But I do think that you're whittling away at this army at least.
Yeah. It's looking great. The only concern I have is it's looking identical to last game, which was also looking great. Oh, okay, Vikings taking out the command center. That's huge.
That's big, yeah. So down to just 2 mining bases.
Yeah, so even if this falls apart, then at least we got the third base down.
Yeah. So he's building another couple of command centers, but they're going to both go down, I feel. And now it's Micro Machine that's stuck in the 2-base scenario.
Running his Vikings over auto turrets.
Yeah,
the best choice.
Good. I mean, he'd be better off just landing those Vikings there and trying to take out the tanks.
Landing Vikings on top of tanks. I mean, if you can get them all in the dead zone somehow, but
yeah.
Vikings are not strong creatures, especially against something that does bonus to armored.
Sure, you will take out the tanks though, but you'll probably lose most of the Vikings. I get the sense at this point that's probably not the worst outcome for him. Oh, some nice auto turrets there.
Yeah, that was helpful.
Yeah.
Even getting some sieges done on his third base. Natural under threat.
I don't think that third base is long for this world.
I could see this falling apart though if I lose high ground vision, which is I can see happening right now.
Yeah, he's
I
got
do
this.
have a feature that I need to add where if a tank starts shooting me from the high ground and I can't see it, then my bot doesn't handle it well at all.
Yeah,
So I've seen games where like one of Micro Machine's tanks kills off like 5 of mine.
yeah. We had a problem like that last week with Tears bot, where he was just standing at the high ground trying to attack the tank, and
Yeah.
yeah, just couldn't see it.
If I see it once, I'll remember where it is, and then I can do things like try to get air vision of it or try to
Yeah,
scan it. But if I've never seen it before and then it shows up on the high ground, then my bot just kind of breaks and just ignore it and get killed.
yeah. So Micro Machine looks like he's almost dead, but trying to build another command center. I'll give it to this to Micro Machine. He is persistent.
If those distracting SCVs dead now, though, the focus is going to be on pushing that natural base. And I'm not sure if Micro Machine's going to be able to do it against, what is this, like 12 tanks or something?
Yeah,
And air control.
It's not looking good for Micro Machine here.
And a little bit of deja vu, but this is, again, a matter of when, not if.
Yeah.
Even Micro Machine, I don't think has any chance of coming back here.
Well, all those
Let's not
SCVs
fast forward because I want to relish this moment. It doesn't happen often.
Absolutely. It's a good idea. But yeah, it's unfortunately without tanks to back it up, these Vikings aren't going to do much for Micro Machine. But it's going to tie you up in the series. Now you only need to win 2 more, right?
Yep, 1-1.
It'd be interesting to see what tactics Micro Machine pulls out next as well.
And if I had to guess, like, a result for this series, I would have guessed 3-1. I don't think it was likely that I was going to lose 3 times in a row. I know I can beat Micro Machine sometimes. So
Yeah.
we got our 1 here. I'm happy. Everything else is a little gravy.
Yeah.
And again, since this is an older version of Micro Machine, we may even have a good chance of winning the whole thing.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you evened up the series now, so it's pretty much anyone's. And as we got a decent Viking lead now as well. And
one thing I do want to note as well, Micro Machine expands with orbitals and doesn't really respond much to planetary fortresses flying into his bases. So my planetary fortress meme can actually turn the tide of a Micro Machine battle, where I start landing planetaries in all of his bases.
That would be fun. I think we've found a weakness. Although don't tell Raph and Unusual we found a weakness, please.
Unfortunately, I already posted a video of it on the Discord.
Ah, damn. Yeah.
I was just about to turn it off too, because like that planetary thing, it never helps. It's just for fun. So I was gonna switch it back to mass orbitals again. But yeah, maybe I'll leave it up now. Because there's a game where it literally turned a very even match between myself and Micro Machine into a victory.
That's pretty cool. So
I guess we can speed up at this point because my tanks are going to be blocking each other on this ramp. It's going to take a while.
So if you want to join us, jump into the Discord and you'll see that video. I'll post a link in a minute in chat, or someone else can. Yep, we'll get this to the end. We always fast forward the games because there is a good chance that some bots occasionally crash, and obviously, if that's the case, we want to make sure.
Yeah, I did find a bug where my bot would crash when it got to 3-3 upgrades. So
yeah,
that kind of sucked. Because that means you go 25 minutes, you're on the verge of victory, then all of a sudden everything just stops working. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Okay, GG. 1-1. with 3 games left. You need to win 2 more. Think you can do it?
I mean, if you can win one game, you can win 3 games,
Yeah,
right? Once you know you're capable of it, anything's possible. I don't think
yeah.
I'm favorite, but yeah.
There we go. The great motivational speech there. Yay, my bot! Win for me! Win for me! Yes, I
I
don't
mean,
think.
it used to be yay, my bot survived 10 minutes against Micro Machine. So we've been
Yeah,
upgraded to yay, we won a game.
yeah. I'm not sure motivational speeches really work on bots as well. By the way, we are watching these from replays, so the games were played earlier today. Therefore, a motivational speech would definitely not work on this bot, unfortunately.
I'm pretty sure AI has mastered time travel. They just can't communicate it with us.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, in that case, give another emotional speech. No, it's fine. Right. Okay. Next map is submarine, which is, as we all know, quite a small map. So that probably is going to favour your bot as well, I guess, a little bit. Um,
No, this is even worse than the first map. So
okay.
unfortunately, you picked the 2 worst maps to play in this series.
Oh well.
All
Let
right.
me know when you're ready to go.
Yeah, ready when you are.
Okay, going in 3, 2, 1, go. All
Yeah,
right.
for the same reason, the gas is going to be super light, just because this map
Okay.
designer decided to make it almost impossible to wall off the Reaper jump.
Yeah. Just down here, there's so many places. Uh,
Yeah, the standard map, it takes 2 to 3 structures to wall off the Reaper jump. On this map, it takes 6 or 7 structures. I can't remember. And then there's also a backdoor into the natural base. You can jump from the third into the natural.
yeah, sure. That's going to be annoying. But Micro Machine says he's chosen the early expand strategy, so I don't know if that means that the Reaper is going to get there slightly later.
It does. But again, the threat's not the Reaper itself. Or the bad thing isn't the Reaper itself. The bad thing is my adjustment to my build order to deal with Reapers.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think
yeah.
you can wall off this little bit here with that single barracks. But again, just getting up on this whole area here is easy, which is just at the top of the main, going into the natural. And obviously, I think there's a position down by the third base, isn't there, where you can get in as well.
Yeah. So the way that Reaper jump is shaped, it actually takes 4 structures to wrap around that thing to wall it off.
Yeah.
But instead of that, I just wall from where my barracks is right to my ramp. I just wall that just section off, and then it still forces them through my natural.
Yeah.
Of course, that only made sense when I used to put a planetary at my natural. Now it doesn't really make sense at all. You can still like.
I mean, there's a bunker there, isn't there? But I
I
mean,
don't have to worry about for much longer. This map is going out of the rotation.
yeah.
We only got a couple weeks left yet, and good riddance to submarine.
A lot of people are more happy about Golden Wall going out of the map rotation as well.
I liked Golden Ball. It
Yeah.
was unique. I mean, when it first came out, bots would crash on it because there's those blocked off expos. But I think once people coded around that, it was kind of nice.
Yeah.
There's different attack angles because you both spawn in the bottom. There was it's interesting having the gold base in a forward position.
Yeah.
The opening up the bottom, some bots took advantage of that to expand along the bottom.
See, I
And
always
Micro
found.
Machine sucked on Golden Wall, which was important for all of us.
Yeah. See, I always found Golden Wall more easy to defend the gold base because you could just stick lots of defensive structures up where the gold base was, and it would be very difficult because you've got the high ground up there. So yeah,
Yeah.
it can be difficult to attack into there. But
As a
then,
human player, that's a terrible place in terms of balance to put a gold base. But in
yeah,
terms of the bot meta, I found it was interesting.
yeah, definitely. Oh well, I guess it will be missed then. But
I mean, there is a map next season that also has where both spawns are at the bottom, and there's a like a walled off base in the bottom middle as well. So it's kind of a similar format to Golden Wall.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see if people come up with any fun tactics for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw some cool stuff on Golden Wall. Like Spiny would Nidus swarm hosts into that dead area that you couldn't get to, and
Yeah,
then swarm host your main base.
yeah.
Tyr would mine out his bottom patch, send his whole army across, and then start and then do a blink stalker attack into the opponent's main base.
I mean,
So some people did some very specific strategies just for Golden Wall.
yeah, it'd almost be better if he just mined out your wall as well. But
Yeah.
so
Well, I mean, with blink and 1 sentry to give hallucination for high ground vision, he was able to like go up and down at will.
yeah, so it doesn't look like this Reaper is really doing much. He's basically caught sight of your bunker there and thought, I ain't gonna go in there. That's death.
Yeah, but here comes the death. Since I had to build like 15 structures before I took gas, we are nowhere close to having a Raven out. We don't even have a Viking yet. And this Banshee is arriving any moment now.
Yeah.
That's not a Viking. No, never mind, that's not a Banshee. That
No.
is a Reaper. I take it all back.
Oh, I think he's quite late on the Banshees with this build. He's gone for the early expand, which has got him probably a little bit. Well, he's still behind in workers. So your
That's true. He did
macro
go
is
for the fast expand. Yeah, I forgot
yeah.
about that.
Your macro is pretty good on this setting up workers, but he's got the third base now.
Yeah, I should be a little bit ahead, but so insignificant that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Just because I take my command center before I take gas. So I got my natural down a little bit faster. Of course, I'm going to have far less tech units because of that.
So
Push out coming from Micro Machine. Get just a handful of Marines, it looks like, and 2 siege tanks to follow.
he's probably going to send this directly back again, I think, as soon as he sees what's inside there.
Well, I mean, he's got tanks. He can definitely get through the bunker.
Yeah.
Oh, heavy
Doesn't have
blast
any
right
air
in the middle of
support.
the Marines, though. That's
Yeah.
painful. With air vision, I'm able to
fighting
move my
lights.
tanks in range of his and take it out quite easily.
Yeah, so he doesn't have any Ravens at the moment. So again, it's going to come down to this air battle.
Yeah. Banshee's in the main base, though, however. Up to 5 kills.
Yeah.
Again, no Raven.
No Raven,
Just now coming out.
There he goes.
So 6 kills for the Raven, or for the Banshee, as well as canceled a couple missile turrets. That's definitely
big.
good for him.
And another one coming in.
Yeah, this time it shouldn't be so bad. I got missile turrets, I got a Raven.
Yeah.
And a push coming from Ketrok himself. Now I do have to divert the Raven and Vikings back because of the Banshee.
Yeah, you can't just easily let it go down.
Yeah, Banshee falls quickly, no damage done.
So there's a couple of Vikings. It's going to take out that Raven, maybe? Ooh, that's painful. That's a big loss,
Somehow.
losing that Raven.
Somehow the Viking got behind the army. Another Banshee goes down.
See the Micro Machine army start to push forward there with Vikings.
Yeah, we do have 2 Vikings coming back for myself, but I still think the air control is in favor of Micro Machine. This tank push is getting dangerously close to starting to really hurt Micro Machine, though. If he gets any further forward, he's going to be in trouble.
He's close to being able to actually hit the orbital there. I think he probably can hit the orbital from there, or he's positioned now.
Yeah, maybe just lack of vision.
Yeah, there we go. Starting to pound away.
Yeah. So as long as the Vikings are granting vision.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can see it. Yeah, this isn't looking good. Losing a starport as well. It's got built outside the main base.
Yeah, wow.
And I think with that 3rd base lifted, Micro Machine's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Because now he's not going to be able to keep up with production, and it's going to be like, how do you get air control back now?
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for him. Yeah, it looks like that third is about to go down to the Vikings. Maybe.
I lost my repairing SCVs and replacements are coming out. Who says you
Yeah.
have to test code, huh? It's the first time I've seen it actually running.
Oh well. But isn't it great when your code runs first time? It's like rarely happens, but you know, it's oh man. I'm so envious of that.
Banshee, no detection here. He's starting to take out a bunch of tanks.
Oh yeah.
Where are the Ravens?
Oh, they were just ignoring him. Banshees are remarkably good at that. But yeah, Micro Machine just down to really 2 mining bases now.
There are no Ravens.
Oh,
I think
I
when
thought
I'm
I
fighting
saw
for air
one.
control, I always prefer to build the Vikings when I
Yeah.
think I need Vikings. But if I get stuck with no Ravens, then yeah, these Cloak Banshees are going to be deadly.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem for you. So I don't think this base is really mining that much, but it is serving as a nice distraction to stop you hitting the main. So yeah, I think it's probably going to end up being 2-1 to Ketrock.
Yeah. I mean, even in a world where this Banshee kills off like 7 tanks and then gets Micro Machine back in the game, just looking at the map, it looks really strong for Ketrock right now.
Yeah.
I think I can, like game 1, like if he cleans it up and pushes me back, I think I'm still perfectly fine.
Yeah. So he's set up the third again and is
Yeah.
sending all of his SCVs to long distance mine across the map.
Looks like Micro Machine's taking air control yet again, so maybe these Cyclones can find a way to pick off the tanks while there's no Vikings to support.
It's possible. Ooh, I don't think
Yeah, these tanks are falling now. There's the Cyclones taking out 2 of them, Banshee's working away.
Yeah.
Our Vikings are like having a party down in the south, while the tanks are like, we need help.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know, I think you're just about holding this. Yeah, that Banshee is just going down.
Banshee specifically targeting my repairing SCVs too, which is annoying.
I think it's just Micro Machine just targeting SCVs. Like, it does that.
Yeah.
I don't think it cares whether your SCVs are mining, repairing, or hanging around not doing much. It'll kill them anyway. Micro Machine's a bastard like that. So yeah, there is
Oh, he's losing all of his Vikings. What are they doing? They're flying back home through my Viking cloud.
oh god.
Okay, I'm a little ahead of you, sorry.
That, yeah.
But keep an eye on the, yeah, right there.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Watch this.
Oh,
They're all flying back home.
That is going to be disastrous for Micro Machine there. So, like, that is full on air control now for Ketrock.
Yeah.
That's,
so now all of a sudden these tanks aren't going to be dropping like flies anymore. So my Vikings can stay on there.
More and more Micro Machine SCVs Vikings go down. So we see an uncloaked Banshee as well. And it's getting rather close, I think. It's that Viking cloud's going to take out another command center there.
Yeah, the Vikings were distracted by the command centers for a little while, which allowed some more tanks to drop. So Micro Machine is breaking out, but he's breaking out still on 3 bases, and Ketrock's got the entire map.
Yeah. If you look at the worker count, you're pretty much on nearly 100 workers compared to 70.
Yeah, that's a bug I still can't track down. It's never supposed to go above like 85 workers. I don't know what scenario causes this to happen, but there's so many edge cases for workers doing different things that
Yeah.
something's messing up my standard count.
Well, it's down to 94 now, so Micro Machine can help you with that bug, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, those Banshees are constantly killing the repair SCVs, so.
Yeah. We might be in for a slightly longer game here, guys. This is it's going to be close to see if Micro Machine can actually pull out. But just having a look at how much income he has left, there's only 4 patches in the natural and the full base there. So I don't think he's going to be mining from this base very soon.
Yeah. Micro Machine just lost 3 tanks too, without anything in return. Can't afford to do that when you have no economy. You got to be like winning every single fight, every little battle you get into when you're this far behind.
Yeah. It's just about efficiency, really. If you look at the income counts, then Ketrok's off at about 3,000 minerals per minute and Micro Machine down at 2,000. So if you do the math on that, he's got to take out 3 of yours for every 2 of his taken out. And that's not including any additional bases that he might have. So
a planetary at his 4th is, and the missile turrets even, are just going to be annoying for his army.
Yeah, that's... So in theory, you could just stick a tank at the back of this mineral line here and just lay siege to all of his SCVs from there.
Well, a Cyclone actually canceled that missile turret like 15 times or something. Every time we got a lock on, we had to cancel the missile turret.
Yeah.
Fusion core going down.
Yeah, look how low all these SCVs are over here. Every single one of them's in the red.
We got a big boy flying to Micro Machine's natural base.
Oh, wow. There we go. It's getting attacked by the SCVs. Oh, and the tank. I don't think it's going to finish, actually.
That's okay. There will be more.
Ah, good. If you can take out that tank on the ramp there, it might just finish. But as third goes down, that puts Micro Machine's income at basically 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of gas trickling in. A whole bunch of idle SCVs.
Yeah, so there is literally 0 income now from Micro Machine. And you're just building a command center there. You have more command centers than you know what to do with. You just
There actually should be more. I'm not sure what's happening. I got like 5,000 minerals in the bank right now. That should be 12 command centers if I'm doing this right.
Yeah. So there's a question from mind me that possibly the bug was caused by you not counting the workers in the refineries, but I figure even with that you'd probably not get up to that level. But,
well, technically that's true because you can't just query all the SCVs that are on the map because there are some hidden refineries.
Yeah.
I keep track of them instead. And somehow in keeping track of my SCVs, it comes out to the wrong number sometimes.
Alright, well I am going to fast forward this game to the finish because that was a fun game, but Micro Machine ended up getting starved out and couldn't break
He even got a 4-kill planetary in his main base, so
wow,
success.
there you go. Series 1 already. But yeah. So that should be the last building there. Right, GG.
Was there manor mules?
Yeah, there were mana meals.
I don't think it because it wasn't building enough command centers. I don't think it got to that point in the game, but that was a long enough game for me to start spelling things in the middle of the map with mules.
Ah,
That does happen when there's nowhere left to put orbital energy into.
yeah. All right, let's have a look at game number 4.
Game number 4. I
Yeah,
wasn't sure we were going to be able to say that. And
and we've
now
got a
it's
2-1
actually
lead.
a
Yeah,
match point for Ketrock. So
wow. This should be a fun one. On Eternal Empire. All right, let's have a look. I think this is the one where Micro Machine uses this bunker trick, isn't it? Oh no, maybe not.
there's
All
mules
right,
at the third base. Oh yeah. When
yeah,
I have a large mineral bank, I mule my opponent's bases just to
yeah.
steal his minerals instead of muling my own.
All
Okay,
right,
I'm all set up and good to go.
right, going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so Ketrock's strategy is Tank Viking. Micro Machine says he's won 33% of his encounters. So that's accurate, isn't it? Yeah, it's accurate.
So I think Micro Machine announces his strategy on Allied chat. So if
Yeah,
this replay isn't from Micro Machine's view, then we don't actually know what he chose.
okay, so it's probably something that um, isn't his early expand and probably not his standard strategy.
Maybe it's the one where he goes command center first into a planetary, which would create
Possibly.
the first thing I've ever seen where I don't build a planetary at my natural and my opponent does.
Yeah,
It's almost always the opposite of that. Yeah, so command center into barracks. Okay, I don't know what this is then. I guess, yeah, that could still be. But he doesn't have the gas to make a planetary.
wait.
Hmm.
So it's going command center first. That's interesting. Is this where he's just going to shove down a PF?
It appears that way.
I think it's a bit too early for that. A bit too far over the other side of the map. If he was going to do that, I would expect it to be a proxied, maybe. But
Oh no, I think he's going to planetary as natural.
okay.
He does have a build that he used to use. I think he built it for versus Protoss when he's losing to Protoss all-ins.
Yeah.
Where he just rushes a planetary to his natural base. Graf was very anti-bunker. He didn't want to make bunkers, and he kept dying to Protoss. So he's like, okay, I'll just make a giant bunker instead in this form
Yeah.
with a giant cannon on the top of it.
That's good. Yeah, that's not a bad early strategy.
Meanwhile, Ketrock is able to get up to his 4 gas geysers, however, as it doesn't require 17 structures to wall off the Reapers on this map.
No.
That choke point out front of the natural, though, where this like ramp goes down, that's a place where if you fight and you're on the wrong side, things can go very, very poorly. So
Yeah.
most bots don't really pay too much attention to terrain, like terrain advantages, like high ground and choke points. Gen Z bot might be the exception to that rule, but yeah, if a fight is taken in the wrong place, this game could turn on its head quickly.
Yeah, it's going
Not
to
that
be
anyone's
very.
ahead at the moment, but even if someone gets ahead, it can fall apart.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for his Reaper to get in anywhere because with that bunker, you're pretty much blocking off a lot of the active Reaper sites that can get in anyway. So
Yeah, and if he wants to jump into my main base, he also has to pass by the bunker, even if he comes in from the third.
Okay.
2 Reapers, and it is the planetary expand out of Micro Machine, which means his factory is only finishing now. So none of these super early banshees or anything.
Yeah, I don't think this build unless something good is coming out very soon. I don't think this build is going to work very well.
No.
We don't know.
This may be more of a case of I tried my good builds and they didn't work, so let me just try this one, I guess.
Maybe. Yeah, the Reapers are definitely not going to get much done there.
Yeah, they do keep tabs there though.
Yeah.
If they get blasted from a siege tank, for instance, that's good information for Micro Machine to know that the siege tank tech is out.
Yeah, I'm sure these Reapers will appreciate knowing that they died for that information. Many Reapers died to bring us this information. Okay. Star Wars references probably not a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too difficult to keep track of your opponent's army. And then based on what your opponent has in terms of composition, you can make adjustments to your build, you can make adjustments to your own composition. But all of that relies on knowing what your opponent has. And that's why it's nice to have units across the map always just like poking at the front, just seeing what they can see. It's like, oh, there's a Tempest, I should start building Vikings or something like that. Whereas if you get surprised and know like, hey, there's 7 Tempests coming at me and I have no Vikings, then you're just completely dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, being on the offense gives you a great advantage for the scouting reasons.
Yeah, so it's always good to be aggressive and try to end the games early.
Yeah. So for instance, here, Micro Machine knows I have siege tanks. The only thing I know about Micro Machine is that there's at least one Reaper.
Yeah.
I don't know how many bases he has. I don't know anything. Speaking of which, third base going down for Micro Machine. Same as for Ketrock, although it's being built in the main base.
Yeah. So I think Ketrock's about to move out, looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of reached that magic number.
Yep.
It's going to take a while to get across. I was just getting distracted by these Reapers and Marines and whatnot.
Yeah, there's lots of Marines.
I mean, a lot of sieging and unsieging, I believe.
Yeah, lots of Marines are spread out. There's a few Vikings around. The Banshee is out. I don't think it has Cloak yet, does it? No.
So, that's bad news.
Yeah. Cloak is just about finishing now, I think. Yep.
But that's the opportunity, right? The first Banshee, when there's no missile turrets, when there's no Raven.
Yes.
Now, by the time the second one arrives at Cloak, he's going to run into missile turrets. Or at least be dissuaded by missile turrets.
Yeah. Ooh. That Reaper there caused like 7 tanks to siege up, so I think that Reaper is doing its job at the moment.
Yeah. My bot definitely doesn't have any concept of like an army or a composition. Like each one of these units live in their own world. So if you had one tank against a Reaper, it kind of makes sense, you know, get in range, siege up. But when you have all 9 of your tanks doing the same thing and all of them chasing the same Reaper, it seems ridiculous.
So I think you're probably going to get here, but it's going to be difficult to siege up on the low ground here, I think, against tanks on the high ground.
Yeah. And during that time, a bit of an economic lead for Micro Machine, having built the base at his third base location, he was able to start mining it sooner.
Yeah.
It's not an insignificant amount of extra resources.
So Ketrop looks like he's taken out a bunch of the tanks from Micro Machine. There's not a lot of vision up here, apart from the scout.
Yeah. This is the choke point I was talking about. This can be difficult.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to go down into that valley is going to get obliterated for the most part.
Oh, and that Banshee is taking out tanks as well.
Yeah, not good. Huge Viking lead for Micro Machine. Nothing to deal with this Cloak Banshee. And this looks like death. I'm getting flashbacks to game 1 here, where the tanks are just all going to die for nothing.
We could end up with a 5-game series. Oh. So this Banshee is actually protected by a lot of Raven Vikings as well. So even if you had your entire army here, it probably wouldn't help. Oh, this
That is 9
cyclones.
tanks that went down for
Ooh,
to only
that's
2 on
painful.
Micro Machine side. Army size is about double for Micro Machine. That includes a tank lead and an air lead. And as long as he pushes his advantage here, I don't see much of an answer here for Ketrock.
Yeah, this is looking very, very good for Micro Machine here.
Basically, what I need is to fight in that same area, only on my side.
And I think you might get your wish.
Well, there's nothing there at the moment. Unfortunately, I have no tanks, so
Yeah.
there's one in my third, which is finally pushing over.
Yeah. There's a couple of tanks now. And Micro Machine might just end up making the exact same mistake that you made. I would say at the moment the Ketrok does have 4 bases to... Is there a 4th one going across? Yes, it's 4-4, sorry.
Yeah.
And another command center.
Yeah, every minute that goes by where he doesn't kill a base is very important, because I do have a decent enough economy to bring this back in terms of army count. Especially if I can get air control, then having less siege tanks isn't as big of a deal.
Yeah.
But that said, Micro Machine's not slacking either. He just double expanded, triple expanded even. He's got 2 more command centers about to land.
He's literally just taking every single resource he can on the map at the moment. But he does look like the siege here is going to be broken, but he still does have a pretty sizable army lead.
Yeah, mostly a couple tanks because my Vikings went on an adventure to like the bottom right area of the base, of the map,
Yeah.
I mean. Chasing 2 Vikings.
So there is a battle cruiser coming in there. It just seems to be chilling there, not doing much.
Yeah. I think that's actually good news for me. I don't think Micro Machine's in a state of the game where battle cruisers is a good idea. Like, for instance, if I have the larger Viking counts, those BCs are just gonna show up, take a bunch of damage, and then go back home and repair, and repeat that over and over again. Or that could have been, you know, more Vikings for him if he didn't get the BC.
I mean, that's if he's even using it. Like, it just seems to be dancing. We have the dancing battle cruiser. But yeah, you got quite a decent Viking count there now.
Yeah, I'm not feeling good though. He's got me pinned back here so well. And I'm just looking at the mini map, and it's just getting bigger and bigger for Micro Machine, and I'm still stuck on these 4 bases, trying to take the 5th base at 9 o'clock, but constantly getting shut down over there.
Oh, that battle cruiser lived on 20 HP. Oh, that was very, very close.
Yeah.
I thought I even saw an explosion there, but no. This is pushing down now with the you can break a couple of those tanks, but
So the one advantage I'm seeing for Ketrock here is the upgrades. We're about to reach 2-2 on my air units, and that would put me at 0-2 on my tanks. Facing just 1 air upgrade out of Micro Machine. But again, getting shut down, cannot take that 5th base. Attempting to take the 6th though. That would be nice. There's only 1 gas there, but at least it's a rich gas.
I don't think Micro Machine has seen that either, so you might end up being able to hold on to it for a little bit.
Looks like one's taken out a couple of Ketrock's Banshees there.
Yeah. Do you have any code to land the Vikings if you get to a situation that you might need to?
No.
Ah.
I do not. I'm guessing that whatever decision making I make for that is probably going to be a net negative for me.
Yeah.
I'm happy just to keep them flying and say, even if I don't need them, say, hey, like air control is not in the menu for you now. Once I get this number, they may not be useful for me, but at least it means I get to own the air forever.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Oh yes, the battle cruiser is taken down. So That's good.
The second attack upgrade did finish on the Vikings, so that many
Oh,
Vikings with that much firepower, even the siege tank jump tactics aren't quite right.
yeah.
A lot of Marines dying here, all charging
Say
into a
they're all
massive
charging into
tank
back
lag.
tanks, but yeah, they're all. My God, Micro Machine has lost 99, 99 Marines.
Okay,
It's like,
and
wow, it looks like you've broken the siege.
yeah, I think if it lasts a couple more minutes, the game is over because I'm kind of running out of resources on my first 4 bases.
Yeah,
But now we've established the 6th base. We're trying to take the 5th again, and even the 7th down in the corner.
this could
And
end
now
up.
we're on the offense as well.
I think you've got a better composition generally, like with the tanks and the Vikings. There's still a lot of cyclones there from Micro Machine, which are probably not going to be as useful for him with the tanks around. But
Yeah, I mean, the Cyclones are really good against the Vikings and the Ravens.
yeah,
So it just all matters whether my tank coverage is there or not.
yeah,
And obviously the tanks are really good at zoning out the Cyclones. So a lot of it's positional.
yeah,
But just having more stuff helps if you have a bad position.
yeah,
Helps make up for it. Air Ballad is going very heavily in my favor though.
yeah, yeah. It's let's have a look at the Viking count. I think it's 29 to 24 at the moment in terms of Vikings. It's a decent lead. Do you have code in there to stop overkill on Vikings? So I've noticed you're basically one-shotting a lot of them, but it looks like there might be slightly overkill on there.
Yeah, no, I don't. They don't even target fire even. They just kind of
Okay.
air move. I don't think it's too big of a deal. You might want to consider that sort of code for like tanks or Tempest, something that shoots like really slow.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to know because we don't have information about projectiles, so it's hard to know if you're overkilling or not.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what's his hit points at? But then how many projectiles are in the air? And I think this unit's going to shoot, but maybe it dies before it shoots. Like it's
Yeah.
probably better to overkill than underkill.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
It could work though. I'm not sure if anyone's tried it, but I think it could. It might be a good benefit.
Yeah. I think like I remember one bot was trying to do that. I can't remember if it was tier or something like that.
It definitely seems to make sense for Tempest. They
Yeah.
shoot so slow, and Tempests are so good that it's probably worth the effort.
I've just noticed that since you broke out of that siege, you've absolutely exploded in terms of in terms of bases. You've got bases going up everywhere and one going down. But how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 base?
Yeah. I think the BCs helped a lot. That's kind of like a win more feature. The fact that
Yeah.
you invested all that money into BCs helped me take air control back. And then I think I maintained the economy just long enough to break out.
Yeah.
I think any longer, if I got contained on those 4 bases, I wouldn't have been able to support the sort of production that was required to win.
Certainly the natural was running a bit low there.
Yeah, main and natural were very low.
Yeah.
I think both are down to 4 patches.
This
But 4
huge
patches and
bunch.
2 gas still isn't too bad.
Yeah. Huge bunch of Vikings here. Oh, this air battle is taking place a long way away from where it should be taking place.
Yeah. Well, Vikings, it's hard for Vikings to catch up to other Vikings in
Yeah.
the bot versus bot world, so you end up just chasing across the entire map sometimes. I'm not sure why I'm afraid though of his
Yeah.
Vikings. He's got 6 and I got like 30. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, no, he's got a lot more than 6. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's 37 to 44 at the moment, so
Oh my goodness, game.
that's quite a lot.
This was a meta back in TBT though, in like Wings of Liberty.
Yeah.
People realized how good tanks were in TBT, and then they realized, okay, whoever has vision wins the tank fights. So games would end up being like 2 tanks and 45 Vikings versus 2 tanks and 45 Vikings. It
Yeah,
just
that's
got
the
so
crazy
Viking
amount.
centric. And then people realize that if you just don't have enough tanks, Bio can take over, and then the meta completely changed. But for a while, it was just like a handful of tanks and a million Vikings.
Yeah. Oh god, that command center does not want to be there. Not a good place, command center.
Oh, yeah, but check out the one at 9 o'clock. Or sorry, 12 o'clock.
Oh. No, I want to land here. Oh. You? Yeah, you're going PF on that, aren't you? That's good. Is that going to get up in time? I think that's going to get up in time, right?
Yeah. I'm guessing I have the armor upgrade by this point. Yeah, I do. So 3 armor on the command center means SCVs do almost 0 damage.
Yeah.
They do like 2 damage per hit.
Cyclone coming in there. Should finish that off, maybe? Oh.
I can't believe there's 80 Vikings on the board right now.
That is quite a number. Yeah. I did check the replay file size before I loaded this up, and it was like about 7 megs, which, if you don't know, it is huge for a StarCraft 2 replay. Now I know why.
So that actually means this game isn't close to ending, which is interesting.
Oh. I don't know.
I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just because of the amount of units in the game, to be honest. If you look at the APM, you're currently up at about 75,000 APM for Micro Machine and about 19,000 for Kedrox, so that's still quite a lot.
That's a dangerous APM level for a Micro Machine. He's gonna hit that bug.
Yeah.
You probably want to keep it under 40k to be safe. So going up to like 90k, you might get that thing where actions stop being performed correctly.
I think the hard limit is something about 90 or 100,000, but essentially, if you the more you go up, the more likely it is you're going to miss actions. So
it gets to a point where it completely breaks.
Yeah.
Like just things go randomly. I saw Scarlet's bot get there at like 60,000 APM. We don't even know if it's APM related. It could be like something along the lines of total actions in the game. All we know is like if you have really high APM and the game goes late, you're probably going to get that bug.
Yeah. So I've noticed you've got like a huge bunch of Vikings just sitting there at the main base, just not really doing much.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't like that at all.
No, this doesn't look good.
Again, this is my guess. In Viking versus Viking fights, sometimes you miss by the time the missiles arrive. The enemy Viking is in the fog of war when it dies. So maybe the way I'm keeping track of my opponent's army, some of his army's dying in the fog of war, and I don't know that. So maybe like my bot right now thinks that Micro Machine has like 140 Vikings. So it's like, okay, just stay back until you got enough.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't be staying in the main base. They should just be staying slightly back. So I'm not sure why they're there.
That seems weird. I hope that's not going to be a bug that's going to end the game for you.
I think it will be. Unless I can win with planetaries. Because that's the only thing on the offense right now is the command centers.
I mean,
maybe something will snap me out of it.
Yeah, it's a real shame though, because you are quite a long way ahead at the moment, and you're not the only one going for offensive planetaries. Micro Machine has a fair few of them as well.
Orbitals I have. I'm still spamming. I'm still muling his bases, right? Or my own bases? I'm muling my own bases.
Yeah, muling your own base.
Because I'm spending all my minerals on command centers. They're flying out and dying. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking maybe if I starve out Micro Machine, it won't matter.
Oh, this is how many is here? Like,
I'm going to ask you for the log file after this because I don't know. I don't even have a guess on why my Vikings doing this.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
They're thinking about it.
Come on, move.
They're thinking about it.
Yeah, that is all of your Vikings right there.
What's Mega Machine at for a bank? 7K.
Yeah, this is pretty huge.
And he's probably going to take both those 12 o'clock bases. Yeah, he's going to have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're broke, I could sit in my main base and still possibly win. Yeah, it looks like I'm getting double commands from those Vikings. Like one set of commands is telling them to do the right thing, and the other set of commands is telling them to go back home.
Yeah, this is Right, I think Micro Machine is going to very, very slowly starve you out of everything
If the planetary attack's doing decent now, we got 3 of them going up at his 12 o'clock base.
Nice. So, Micro Machine is just sending some command centers over that are going to get taken out by missile turrets.
But I don't think he knew that that base was taken.
Yeah.
Some bots somewhat cheat. They do a query on an area of the map they haven't scouted.
Yeah.
Which allows them to know if there's an expansion there or not. But when you see someone float a command center or send an SCV to a base that's already taken, you know they're not doing that.
Yeah. So I get the sense that this game is probably going to go on for quite a while.
I'm still not calling it.
No, I'm not calling it here. Like this is
because
this is still very much in the air.
We're building a whole arbor farm too, like in the top right, top left. I mean,
I'm seeing that. That's crazy.
Oh, what's happening? My army's moving. What time are you at?
I'm
way ahead of you.
23:53.
Okay, spoiler alert, they start moving again.
Ah, cool. Did they unscrew themselves? This is just so many weird command centers, orbitals moving around the map. What time were you on when they started moving?
I don't know. I'm paused at 24:40, and they're already
okay.
halfway across the map, so they must be any second now for you.
Yeah, they've started moving. I'll just tell you when I get to 24:40. Oh, there we go. They're going.
Yeah, I'm watching on stream, and it looks like this game, so many units for you, slowing down your system a bit.
Yeah. All right, so go now. Yeah, I think my PC is getting slowed down because so many units, so many APM.
Yeah.
Oh.
StarCraft 2 and OBS are both kind of hogs on your system resources.
Yeah.
So when you're streaming and playing.
Especially with this high APM.
So Micro Machine has 1 base of economy at this moment. He still has a decent sized bank.
Yeah,
he can like remax maybe once.
He's got like 2,000 minerals, so it's not going to be the end of the world.
And Ketrok has blown his entire mineral bank on, losing a 500 command centers. So having 15,000 gas is basically irrelevant at this point.
Got to use them for something, right? Oh, this is what you wanted earlier. Yeah, so Micro Machine's bank is slowly getting whittled away here. For every Viking I think you take down.
Yeah. Actually losing the 12 o'clock base.
Yeah.
Big fight going for his final remaining base. Bank is gone for Micro Machine.
Yep.
Looks like he's put it back into Cyclones and Vikings, so he realizes the air is not going well for him. Planetary's going to finish. I feel like I'm getting ahead again. Probably am. Yeah. Planetary is on the way to finishing at Micro Machine's final mining base, which is going to scatter the SCVs.
Yep. So yeah, I think, as you said, there's no actual mining bases left apart from that one there. So yeah, Micro Machine is not mining at all. So it looks like your Vikings finally got their ass in gear after taking a little break. and deciding that the rest of the army can deal with this. We don't have to do anything, right?
Yeah, it's just like that, famous story of the tortoise and the hare,
Yeah.
where the hare falls asleep and then wakes up in time and still kicks the tortoise's butt at the end. I think that's how the story goes.
That's totally what happened. I may have been reading a different story to you, but like, it's fine. Oh, Micro Machine looks like it just doesn't have like the tiniest trickle of income at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to be able to start mining him from that final base. The planetaries are getting knocked down, and as soon as they do, those SCVs will be able to get back to their job.
Yeah. I still feel
But
he'll need another few
yeah,
bases though.
we may actually see stuff get spelt in the middle of the map too. So we do have an orbital farm, which randomly started building 25 minutes into the game.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of orbitals there. You are not going to run out of scans anytime soon. So it looks like you might have been able to take down the King of Micro Machine. I mean, yeah, I'm worried about talking too early here, but I think it looks fairly good for you.
Yeah, I just keep taking an eye at the banks. I think that's what really matters. Who's got more
Yeah,
minerals in the bank?
yeah,
And it's just looking so good for Catrock. And even look at take a look at that 12th of the final base. We do have the orbital mule spam, which means those are my minerals as well as they are micro machines.
yeah. There we go. This is all mine now. Yeah, that's gonna.
I thought we were going to a game 5 there. I really thought that my bot was screwed.
Yeah, I was looking at the bug with all the Vikings, and I thought there's no way you can win with that. But yeah,
I still can't really understand it. Like they go back there when they need to repair.
yeah,
That's the only reason they would go back to that location.
that's strange. Oh, where is this one going? And I think if we look at the units now, there's not really a lot left for Micro Machine, just a single tank. 8 Cyclones. And that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I am still suiciding command center after command center, which will eventually become a problem. But I think with 10,000 minerals in the bank,
yeah,
it's okay.
It's fine. Like you could pretty much fill the entire map up with command centers right now and still be fine.
Yeah, it looks like we were able to mule out that final base for Micro Machine, so Micro Machine is on his last 33 minerals.
Oh, and you're even muling that. Like, come on, man. give him something at least. Yeah, so it really is zero income now.
Now I just need to wait for one of my orbitals to get to max energy, and then I think I'll start BMing by spelling things with mules in the middle of the map.
Yeah, I'm not going to fast forward because I want to see that.
I mean, this is honestly like an area of the game you never test.
Yeah.
So the chances of things breaking is high. You did say it was a 7 meg game, so I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure this game is over. Something might break. Maybe it's a tie.
I don't know. I wouldn't imagine so.
Like I can see all my SCVs have like idled. They're supposed to always be doing something, but a lot of them are doing nothing right now. So
Yeah, just sitting
it's
there
just this
going,
weird edge case of the map being mined out.
is it entirely mined out? Like everything on the map?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't see anything. Not even a gas geyser. There's a gas
There's
at
gas
Micro Machine's
geysers.
base.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
There's some
several
gas left. That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, there is actually 0 minerals left on the rest of the map. This is I have never seen this happen before in a while. In a bot game. Look.
There's still 2 banshees for Micro Machine hanging out in the north corner.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's staying. There's still 300 income from somewhere. I don't know where though.
Maybe
No,
just
it's
the
gone
way
down to
it
0.
calculates
Yep,
averages that it's
gone down to 0 now.
left over from something.
Yeah, I mean, will we end up? I can't see it ending up in the draw just simply because the Raven energy is always going to be able to take something down.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to bug out for this to be a draw.
Yeah.
My tanks and my Ravens will slowly win the game. Unfortunately, most of my army supplies and Vikings, which
Yeah.
flying Vikings don't kill structures very quickly. Unless they actually lift off.
Well, you know, they're Terran
Lifting off, speak of the
structures,
devil.
so, you know. Looks like Micro Machine is just bugging out at the moment, not really doing anything.
All right, the orbitals are at like 150
Yeah.
energy. We're getting there.
Ah, there we go. Easy. That's total BM, man.
Because a 32-minute game is easy.
Yeah. Easy, easy. Oh, man. There we go. I guess if you can't mine minerals, you got to do something with them, right?
Yeah, that's true. Because my builds are so gas heavy, I just build orbitals, and then okay, I don't need the minerals, so no point mining my own orbiting, or no point muling my own bases. So I usually mule my opponent's bases, and then if that's not an option.
So, alright. There's not much really there to do. This is when the code for landing Vikings would be really useful.
Yeah.
Damn it, man. Why don't you work that in for exactly this situation, which happens so often?
If game time equals 40 minutes and minerals equals 0, and
Yeah.
and Vikings were idle for 5 minutes.
Yeah, there we go.
I like how these Vikings are chasing that Banshee. This Banshee, as soon as it runs out of energy, is going to be in a lot of trouble at the natural base of Micro Machine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like down to 18 energy. And another easy in the middle. Alright, I am probably going to fast forward this now because I think it's pretty much over. We've had our fun. GG, congratulations, man. You are the champion.
We did it.
You only have 1 more week to survive, and then you'll be able to survive for the full season. Up against Shark Nice next week.
Is it Shark Nice? Okay.
Yeah, it's Shark
He's the
Nice.
only other bot I have to worry about, and he's the one I have to face.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Additional pylons is really tough for me too.
Well, it was due to be Shark Nice this week, but he turned down the opportunity because he was busy and couldn't come on the stream, so he wanted to do it next week. So yeah, it's.
Oh, build a map. Got another one.
Yeah, GG. There we go. Such BM. If only we did that in human games.
I mean, that was pretty entertaining for a 40-minute game.
Yeah.
Usually 40-minute games you'll be bored out of your mind. But we had some drama of like some bugs and
it was kind of back and forth, wasn't it? If that bug
the first 20 minutes was really exciting.
Yeah.
Because Micro Machine definitely took the lead for a good portion of that game.
Yeah. Just waiting to take out the last few buildings. And there we have it.
One siege tank blocking the ramp.
Oh.
Them down.
Cool, congratulations. Yeah,
3-1.
so
I was expecting a 3-1. I gotta say,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting this type of 3-1.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, It's that precognition. But yeah, so we'll have our last King of the Hill broadcast next week, and then we'll be changing the format slightly. So if you can survive till the end of next week, you will be our reigning champion for a few weeks while we sort everything out and sort out the ProBots tournament. Interestingly
Nice.
enough, the qualification for that is getting quite close. So um, yeah, that's going to be fun. We've actually got
Hmm.
a few things coming up in the next few weeks as well. So the season will end on the 1st of June, and on that day we'll have a stream at 7 o'clock UK time, which is, I'll work it out whenever it is in your time. And we'll be watching the final games as they tick over and seeing who's qualified and who hasn't, which should be fun. So,
Yeah, it's going to be a good ProBots this year. We're going to be on the current map pool as well. So we're switching over to the newest BattleNet maps. Thanks to Scarlett for that one, as she was able to mess around with the map editor and actually update our ancient bot client into the new world of the current balance patch.
yeah,
Um, and some new up and coming bots. There's going to be a lot different, bunch of new names that we didn't see in last seasons of ProBots.
yeah, we've got a few new ones coming down. But yeah, so that's about all we've got time for. Congratulations again, Kedrock. Thank you for joining us. And
Thanks.
thanks everyone for tuning in. And we'll see you all next week.
See you guys.